bad thing. Yeah, I seen that too. What a dick. So I've been thinking about rebranding this channel in a sense, and just going back to cars and cameras, because cars I will always love, as will photography. I mean, I have no plans to use this Pentax, but I bring it with me just in case I run into something cool. Now, I wanted to call this channel Wrong Gear, but I think there's already a channel named that. Now, I don't know if they're making content or not. I didn't look into it. I just went to see if the @Wrong Gear was available on YouTube, and apparently it wasn't. So maybe I get a little clever. You know, some hip spelling, like instead of using an O in there, we use a 0, or we just do WRNG gear or something like that. But yeah, gonna probably focus mostly on cars stuff and honestly camera stuff, because it kind of fits both, right? You know, camera gear, wrong camera gear. I have a tendency to use unpopular things sometimes, although my DSLRs are usually pretty popular, and that being that I use Nikon gear, but I am using older Nikon gear. So let's go ahead and get into this video where I possibly upset some people, I think. And it's basically just my opinion. It is not fact. I'm not doing the research to provide any data to go with my opinion. It's just a formulated opinion I have, and you're more than welcome and encouraged to disagree with me if you don't like it. Be vocal in the comments, because that's how YouTube channels grow, right? Is through engagement. And I like talking cars and car related stuff, so I'm, you know, open to discussion, not arguments, discussion. Okie dokie. So let's turn the camera around so I can provide a prime example of my first talking point. So here's my first, I guess, wrong gear subject. And I call it wrong gear because it's probably not a popular opinion. And I think that's why the name kind of fits for the automotive side of things. And the 2-lane interstate system has been and is being expanded on far too quickly, and for probably mostly reasons of, well, if we don't spend all the money in our budget, we can't ask for more, because, you know, it'd be a real shame to save taxpayers dollars. You know, that would be awful, wouldn't it? But it's just, I feel like these are more important. I think they're more relaxing, and I feel like they're probably more environmentally friendly than the 3- and 4-lane mega highways. I'm going 72 miles per hour. The speed limit is 70. I'm technically breaking the law. I know. I am a criminal. But I have the cruise control set to a reasonable speed. Overtook 2 vehicles there, no problem. Didn't even touch the cruise control. And look at that. Ta-da! I'm greeted to nice views. I got a blue sky, the sun in my eyeballs, these nice trees, some green grass, lots of weeds and shrubberies and bushes. And I will say Kentucky does provide some pretty good scenery, even on the interstate, for drives. I hate the state a lot of the times. This is one thing it does have going for it as a car enthusiast and someone who just loves a good scenic drive. Even the interstates can make you go, oh, that's pretty. So, back on point. I do feel like these are more environmentally friendly, just simply because of the trees and the grass. They're able to absorb some of the carbons that our vehicles are, pumping out. They're providing shade. They are, reducing the radiant heat coming off the pavement, because, well, instead of that median being paved with a center divider, it's grass with these, steel braided catch fences. They work, but man, do they do some damage. Yeah, they do it. Now, on the downside, maybe not good for the environment is they do kind of tend to have wildlife living inside the trees, from various sized critters to the ones with antlers and such on their heads, and they do tend to wander out onto the interstates. But that is definitely something we're kind of used to in more rural parts of America, and it's just a thing of life. Even towards the bigger cities, there's still deer and such that find their way up there and find their way into traffic. So I think we've abandoned these roads, or expanded these roads, way too quickly. Get in the right lane, set your cruise control for around or just above the speed limit, and just have a nice relaxing drive. Pass when you need to pass and then get back over. No left lane camping. It's not these roads that are the problem. It's the people on the roads that are the problem. And I mean, I guess we can say that about every bit of traffic, from your morning commute driving through the city, or even driving through your suburbs. That one jackwagon that just likes to drive 50 miles per hour through your subdivision, you know. They exist. It's the people. It's not the road, it's the people. I've seen people complain about a section of road out in Lexington, rural Lexington, going, oh, this road is so dangerous, they need to do something about it. I'm like, the road isn't dangerous. It's not, you know, doing anything harmful or scary. It's the people on it. You know, it's people crossing the center line because all I can see around the turn, turns out you can't, kind of thing. It's that type of behavior. It's the speeding and poor maintenance of vehicles and such that is dangerous. It's not the road. A road isn't dangerous unless it's literally falling apart and crumbling. When I was out years ago in Kansas and Oklahoma, driving Route 66 just to experience it, that was kind of dangerous roads compared to interstates and city paved streets and such, because I was just on a stretch of pavement. Everything seemed fine. I'd seen a road that said pavement ends, and I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden there was a good 1-2 inch drop into a gravel road, and it was like, holy shnikes, I was not prepared for that. So as a tourist, that was dangerous. You know, I could have, if not, you know, if someone was to overreact, if I would have overreacted, or the car, or I didn't come in at it straight and I came in closer to the edge and maybe it was a little washed out or something, that's dangerous. Not just paved roads are dangerous, you know. Unpaved roads are more dangerous. But yeah, that's a whole nother rant too. So that's my first wrong gear, and feel free to go to the comments and tell me I'm an idiot, or tell me I'm a genius, or that you agree with me, or that I'm crazy, or whatever you want. Engagement is what I'm looking for here. I like talking cars and car related things, and well, it's just part of my life, and I don't have many people to spew my crazy thoughts to, so I'm gonna go to the internet and be like, haha, you have to suffer if you choose, because you don't have to watch the videos, of course. You can never watch one of my videos again, and that's fine too. These are not high production or anything like that. Probably never will be, because I hate editing videos. But yeah, I miss the 2-lane interstate being more common in between major cities. There was, for a long while, the stretch from, you know, northern Kentucky to Lexington, a good chunk of it was 2 lanes, and then once you got through central Kentucky and headed more towards southern Kentucky down 75, it was 2 lanes. And there was something about those drives that just were nicer. It wasn't that the roads were better, because trust me, they weren't, but it just was a more pleasant, relaxing experience as far as driving. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, I don't know. You felt less inclined to take risk, or to drive 90 in a 65, you know, that kind of thing, because of the road. And I feel like overall it was better, even if traffic would get worse in case of an accident or something like that. But, you know, again, my opinions are independently formed. They're not, you know, influenced by anything. It's just a random thought that I had in my head the other day, driving down the interstate and thinking, you know, this was better when it was 2 lanes. And it's a weird thought to have as a car enthusiast, kind of missing the slower and more scenic travel, and I guess, than the quick we can get to Gatlinburg, or we can get to Nashville in a couple hours because of these wider interstates and higher speeds. So long. Goodbye.